man, by the time 30 minutes came after they checked him for brain waves, I had his hair. He looked just like fucking Clint Eastwood in Dirty Harry. I mean, I had that thing. I had that Callahan, look going, and we were. My wife and I were just, we're taking turns. We go up together, and and as time went on, about 1:30, 1:45 in the morning, the doctor just wanted to talk to us, and I said, like, not in front of my kid. If you're going to tell me something shitty, I don't want him to hear it. And they said he was in a coma, but we whispered to him several times, and his heart rate went up. So I'm like, no, he knows what's going on.
The hearing's the last thing to go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we went in the other room, and he just we sat on. They had one of those codes where you had to punch the numbers to get into the room, and lo and behold, there were classified information that the Trump had stolen. No. So they
even today.
Hey man, if I don't laugh, I'm gonna blow my brains out. So the doctor actually, and nobody takes their mask off in a hospital. They just don't do it with especially with COVID starting to get a little peak, and it's just not proper. But he was. I'm sure. He was probably 12 feet away from us. He sat in a chair, and we sat 2 chairs. And he just looked down at my wife and I, and he just said, he said, your son's not going to make it. And I was like, and then I said, I'm not gonna pull his breathing tube out. I said, I won't do that. I said, that's not an option. I said, so what are we talking? I said, you're saying that when he had the cardiac arrest, that he did damage to his heart, so that's why we can't get his bottom number up. That means the bottom ventricle had been damaged to some degree because he didn't have the ability to push blood. His top number was much higher, and even though they medically brought the top number down, he was like 111/55. They just couldn't get that bottom blood pressure. Like if they could have got that to 70, I'm sure that would have been. But by the time it was like he stopped putting out urine, and it was one of those things that just like there's so many things mounting. He had some kind of ulceration, whether it been in his esophagus. Like I have really bad GERD. Which is like acid reflux that basically happens when you sleep, and I'm on medication for it. And he always would. He was always eating Tums, and on top of all that, you couldn't give Tristen hot enough or spicy enough food. There was always something in our refrigerator that was nobody else on earth could eat but him. Some kind of pepper or something. And